Hi everyone. In this particular video, I'm going to start a very specific topic, and that's precisely very important from all perspectives of UPSC, PCS, and students from international relations or pol science of colleges and universities. So, the title of today's is The Role of Major Powers in Maintaining Peace and Tranquility. Therefore, in this connection, we discuss about this under the banner of AGS Academy, and we'll see how exactly the role of major powers are important in this connection. We will go for as an introductory part, and we'll see the role of major powers in global peace, how significant it is. As the world becomes increasingly globalized, the role of major powers in maintaining international peace and security has become more important than ever before. That's very true. We saw just recently G20 held in New Delhi and how major parts of the world thronged over here to contemplate as to how the globalized world should move. Major powers have definitely a responsibility to promote and protect the international system as well as the well being of all nations. In a world where power dynamics constantly shape the course of international affairs, major powers play a pivotal role in maintaining global peace. Needless to add, these influential nations bear the responsibility of striking an intricate balance between their own interest and the greater good of humanity. Dear students, this is the world where every nation tries to see their own interests. This is the time where every country and every major power in the world tries to protect the interests first. Some of the powers which are big players in today's world, you must be knowing that, but still, let us see what are those powers. Of course, USA is number one, Russia, China, South Korea, Japan, and we have now India as well. Therefore, it becomes significant these powers can play significant role, and many of them have been playing already very important role. They must be assertive. If we talk about like how important role they can play, then they must be assertive. Many of them are already assertive. Many of them are already playing their due roles, but need to do more and further to protect the interest of the citizens, allies, and not so aggressive that they provoke conflict. In addition, they must be willing to work with other countries to find peaceful solutions to problems. Dear students, it's significant. It's not only to go in the field for talking about the peace, rather, that should reflect in reality and then on the ground. The United States, if we talk about, has been boasting for long and considering itself a guarantor of global peace. You see, whatever in the past it has done and is doing now, it's all clear to the rest of the world. This role was formalized in the aftermath of World War II with the establishment of various international institutions, most notably the United Nations. Russia is a major power with a seat at the United Nations Security Council and veto power if we talk about after USA. It has significant influence in international affairs. Dear students, you know currently what the role being played by Russia is all about in the crisis of Ukraine Russia and the impact of that all over the world. Yes, Russia as an international affairs expert and a big player, its role in the world cannot be ignored. And when the world was divided into bipolarity and thereafter, we all saw that. Since the end of the Cold War, there has been a power vacuum in the world, and this has led to a number of challenges for global peace and security. The role of major powers has become increasingly important in managing these challenges. Needless to add, dear students, China is one of the most important players in this balancing act, And in the recent history, China has been playing a balancing act against the odds. It depends how China is being looked and viewed by many parts of the world. And when we talk about like our country, India has long been a regional power in South Asia, but it has only recently begun to emerge as a global player. And as India's economy continues to grow and its military establishment and military capabilities, therefore, it has now started increasing, and it's likely that India will play an increasingly important role in global affairs. One of the examples what we saw just now was like here regarding G20, and you also saw how India handled very tactfully any controversy or even the role or the connectivity between Canada and India. India is handling tactfully, and India has handled South Asian countries very tactfully also. And beyond that, India knows very well how to protect its interest. And I'm quite hopeful rather and very optimistic in future as well. India will be a deciding factor in the global affairs. Dear students, and how can major powers work together to promote global peace? It's not that only individually a country can maintain peace and tranquility. It's very essential to maintain peace in the globalized world. They need to work together to promote global peace. The United Nations was founded in the aftermath of World War II with the aim of preventing future international conflicts. The UN Charter sets out the principles that guide the organization's work, including the promotion of global peace and security. If we talk about the Security Council, yes, Security Council is the UN body and that is again accountable primarily for maintaining international peace and security. The aspirants of UPSC and PCS and students of graduation and masters, you must be knowing it has means UNSC has 50 members, 5 of which are permanent: China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and 10 out of which are elected by the General Assembly for 2 years terms. When we talk about the Security Council, it can impose economic sanctions and authorize military force to resolve conflicts and protect civilians. In recent years, there has been an increased focus on prevention and conflict resolution within the UN system. Needless to add, you all are preparing for competitive exams, so knowing very well this preventive action is sometimes very crucial and turns out to be a deciding factor. Then what is preventive diplomacy? Preventive diplomacy actually, if we talk about the UN Secretary General, he emphasized the importance of it, and in his work, and member states have established a number of initiatives to address conflict before it escalates. Preventive diplomacy is something which is going to escalate, something which is going to start, the conflict which is going to start and create a problem for not only that area, that region, rather all over the world. So before it starts, before it breaks out, stop and not let it happen. That is preventive diplomacy. And through diplomacy, major powers play a key role in supporting UN efforts to promote global peace through preventive diplomacy. They provide financial support to the organization and contribute troops to peacemaking missions. Students, they also use their influence to encourage other countries to support UN initiatives. We have the example lead taken by the US regarding Iraq war, regarding Libya, regarding you all saw Afghanistan, the latest example of that. Even in the case of Ukraine and Russia crisis, hectic works were chalked out how to stop that, and if escalated, how further not to get it escalated to the extent possible. Working together, major powers can help to make the world a more peaceful place. So, dear friends, then what's the conclusion of it? What we learned from the entire discussions of today's video? We learned that the major power has a due role to play in bringing peace and development, in bringing global peace and stability. They have the capacity to affect international relations through their economic and military powers. Why? Because they have their leverage. They play their own role. They influence all over the world. They control UNSC. They control UN. Therefore, they have the capacities to engage and bring peace and development. By engaging the dialogue and collaboration with each other, they can help create policies that promote peace and security around the world. This balancing act is essential for a peaceful future, as all major powers must take into account each other's interest before making any decisions that could disrupt the global balance of power. Students, I hope this video could be helping for you for competitive exams, UPSC, PCS, as well as for university exams and colleges. Thank you very much.